Vogel, book 4.
Volume 4, literally. I mean, it is a hell of a volume. 18 issues in this thing. Amazingly enough, though, it's so well written that it goes pretty fast. I mean, Brian K. Vaughan, it's where he is pretty strong at is he knows when he's got to put, some words in there and exposition, and then he knows where he can just let the art, speak for itself. So, and Fiona Staples, holy crap, is she just getting better? I don't know. It just seems like, to
Pretty
me
solid.
anyway, yeah, the art is just so good throughout this. That's the great stuff. I mean, it's two people that are above, average when it comes to their
Craft.
style, their craft, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, they come together in this and it's really good. On the flip side, though, oh my God, is this a depressing story, though, in some
True.
ways? I mean, they do put in flashes of hope and some humor, and stuff in there, but I think I get a little sick of, all the foreshadowing, in some
Yeah.
cases. Oh, this will be important later, or this was, some of the
Yeah. He
happiest time
does
in my
do a
life,
little bit of that
and
kind of stuff.
does that a little too much. I'd rather not even know that because it's for something that's already been so goddamn long. It just makes it feel like, oh my God, this is longer. Now you read this, and he basically at the end he says that he's like 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah,
That you
he's doing 100 and some issues.
108.
Yeah.
So you
There's two
still
more of
means it
these.
still basically means you got another 36 of them to go.
Correct.
But
But
uh,
it's even on hiatus now.
Yeah.
it
It
is. It
went on
is. Yeah.
hiatus again.
Yeah. They did
Yeah.
again. I mean, he basically has said that this is going to age like the Hazel, the girl in the story, is basically going to age up until she turning 18. So he's like, at the end of this, I think she's around 12. So you're figuring there's another 6 fucking years left, before this gets finished. You know, I could be dead by then. So I don't know. It's tough from that aspect of things because it is good, but
Just
at this
put
point
it
in
the
time,
fuck out.
there you go. Well, it's not even that. I'm more the case of I think I want to get off the ride. I this is good
And that's the
in things,
problem
but
with when
I'm
these books do this.
yeah. I'm ready for this to kind of get wrapped up because it's a lot of gut punches all over the place, and in some cases that's good to read, but when you don't have that ending or something there, of hope, maybe even at the end or anything, it's just I don't know. It gets a little tough. It wears on you to a certain aspect. Yeah, and part of it too, to your point with the big hiatuses that are going on, I think some of the deaths even that had happened in this book maybe should have hit harder, but I don't remember what the hell happened freaking 2 volumes ago either, and it's like, that person looks familiar, but shit, I can't remember what they actually did and what was their role to play when they met up with them earlier, you know?
Right.
Oh, damn, they're half their head's gone now. I guess they're dead, you know? But so there's some of that. I don't know. But it's still, like I say, it draws me in. The writing is good, the art is so good, and every time that I thought, to a certain point, like I'm like, God dang, I don't know that I can keep going on this. Then some other arc happens, or something where I'm like, oh yeah, you reeled me back in because this is really well written, and I like this interchange, this interactions that are going on stuff too. So I I guess where I'm going is I'm kind of having a love-hate relationship here with Saga right at the moment, and especially knowing that it's probably got 6 more years to go, it's like, oh gosh, maybe I just need to wwait 6 years and read it all again
Pretty
at that point in
optimistic.
time. So, and well, that's true too. You're right. It probably go longer than that. So,
Because I looked it up. It started in 2012. But they took a 4-year hiatus. But so in 14 years, we've done 72 issues. I'm not real good at math, but I think that's like 5, 6 issues a year average.
but I don't know that you can
Horse and
count
Savage Dragon.
The
4-year
hiatus.
hiatus. Yeah, that was so long, you know.
Why can't I count that?
Well, you can count that, but I don't know that you can count that for how things will keep going necessarily either.
Well, yeah,
Have they learned from that, or would they take a longer one? I don't know.
I have no idea.
It's
Yeah,
hard to judge. Can you say that? I guess based off of the aspect of this is what's happened. Maybe we can interpolate from there.
yeah,
But also reading there at the end, he's like, okay, we took that hiatus because of things going on in our lives. I'm taking this hiatus to really truly make sure that I've plotted out the last 36 of them. Now, is
yeah,
that going to take him another 4 years, or is that going to take him a year? I don't know.
yeah.
You know, he makes it sound optimistic, like, yeah, I'm committed to this, and this is we're gonna
Yeah,
get
no,
this
he's
done.
totally committed to
So,
this. But
were they that way back when
I
they
think,
took that hiatus there 4 years ago? I felt like back then it was like, well, yeah, there's a lot more of the wishy-washiness then.
yeah,
I felt like they may not even go back to it at all, depending on where their lives are at. Or if they got back to it, it could be, a hell of a lot longer.
yeah,
So it seemed back then they were very, or at least Brian was very, very non-committal,
um,
or at least I thought. Maybe I think his biggest commitment was I'll get it done. But,
yeah.
at least reading the end part here, it was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this so I can do this, this, and this. I felt like it's a bit more of, yeah, we see the end in sight.
I think he's gonna have he's kind of getting to that problem like Tarantino or George R. R. Martin, where he's like, this is my life's work. I know how it's gonna end. I just got to figure out how I'm gonna get
How to
there.
stick it.
I think he's building up too much in his head and putting too much pressure, and then I think he's gonna have
Could be
trouble
that.
like
Well,
figuring it out. You know what I mean?
you're
Like,
exactly right. With all these freaking little threads that he's thrown in there, with all these little foreshadowing bits, you're
yeah, I
exactly
mean,
right.
I
How
think
the
he's
hell
gonna
will
have
they do that?
trouble pulling it all together. Like, I
Yeah.
think that's what happened to Martin. Is like he's like, oh, I had all this cool stuff set up. I'm not trying to pull this.
Well, that's why I really don't like that anymore in there where it goes, oh, this was, just another one of the blah, 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 blah. Or
And then when he says, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get there. I know where I want to go, but I'm not. It's like, dude, you got so many issues to do.
I know.
Yeah, I wish you had more of a
Well,
plan.
you got 3 years worth of issues to go, but so
So whatever.
36.
But no, I really like Saga. I think it's still really good. I still enjoy it. I'll keep buying it as long as he keeps putting it out. It just seems like it's for something that's a self-contained story. It just seems like it's taken forever. And as someone who just reads it when it comes out in these hardcovers, that's a big gap between books. So I mean, because it was like a 4 years off, and it took another 2 years. So it's been like 6 years since I've read Saga, and it's like that's tough for a reader.
Oh, it is. It is.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.